Atlanta's most accurate 7-day forecast shows for your Easter Sunday, we're looking pretty good out there. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s across North Georgia and mostly cloudy skies.
I live a life most wouldn't choose. Raw, intentional, and present. Every color, every bite, every breath is all for me. I love being me. But sometimes, sharing this journey feels like stealing from the moment, like I traded stillness for a storyline. Vlog-style content or cinematic, sunglasses or blue light blocking, should I even care? The raw message is why I'm posting content, but I find myself sharing selfies instead, editing photos, retaking and retouching, and feeling a bit out of touch. I didn't always live like this. I grew into it, step by step. At first it was for healing, then clarity, then passion, and now it's non-negotiable. Raw food gave me back my mind, my body, my presence. And even when no one sees it, this lifestyle is scarce. Oversharing can be cringy, rehearsed, and even performed. And I question, is this for them or is this for me? Let's be real. When you start sharing, everything shifts. What once was scarce starts feeling staged. A smoothie isn't just a smoothie. Now it's content. A walk isn't just a walk. It's a real idea. Some days I catch myself more focused on angles than alignment. And that's when I know I need to put my phone down. Growing up prior to social media was a different time. There's vulnerability that comes with putting yourself out there. Some days I cringe at my own voice. I delete, rewrite, overthink. I wonder if I'm being too much, too raw, too exposed. But honestly, I'd rather be cringy and real than polished and solid. Every time I think about quitting, someone messages me. Someone tells me they started juicing because of me, or they're finally sleeping comfortably through the night. Most people often say they walked into the market for the first time for raw foods only, because something I said lit a fire. That's why I overshare, because I know what it's like to feel lost, and I also know what it feels like to come home to yourself again. So yeah, sometimes I overshare the raw life, but I do it for the one who needs a reason to start. I simply want to show you ways you can take control back of your health. One thing is true, I'm learning balance, how to share the light without burning out, how to be present and visible, how to protect my peace without hiding my truth. Now I film when it flows. I rest when I need to. I remind myself I'm not a brand, I'm a human being first. As a content creator, I love sharing my journey. My habits, my growth, the raw moments that make this lifestyle what it is. But I've learned there's power in keeping some things private. Not everything needs to be captured, and not every breakthrough needs a post. Although I believe it depends on what that breakthrough is. We are here to learn, but also to share knowledge. Most of my real life happens in the quiet, behind the scenes, and I choose to keep it that way. I share my truth more than most, but it's the bigger story behind the camera. I live a very busy and active lifestyle, so putting myself on a schedule to post on a certain day or at a certain time is not my style. It must flow organically. This is the raw life. It's vibrant, it's beautiful, it's colorful, but it gets ugly, unusable, inedible, and my money goes to waste. I'm more intentional now with my purchases. Quietness is another term that's fitting. It'll knock you into solitude, but it's always mine. And if transparency cracks open a door for someone else, then I'll keep sharing. I'll continue to share my journey even on a lazy day. I'm a bit invested. I'll pull out my camera to share my new recipe. I'll show my skin that glows from the juice I prepare, my body that's healing from the plants I ingest, because I'm me. I remember the moment I made the change. You were with me, remember? There are moments I genuinely love recording content, like today at the train station. Something about it just felt timeless. It made me think about how people used to travel back in the day. No phones in hand, no scrolling, just fully present, watching life unfold moment by moment. It reminds me how lucky I am to enjoy both worlds. I can create and share, but I also know how to pause and just be. I really believe my generation is the last to know life before social media took over. And that perspective is a gift, a reminder to slow down, take it in, and sometimes just live in the moment without posting it. So I know raw vegan meals are usually super colorful, loaded with fruits and dressings and all the pretty stuff, but let me be real with y'all. This is my version of a ramen noodle meal. Simple, tasty, and quick to make. It's giving nostalgic comfort food, but raw. And yes, I like my ramen noodles dry sometimes, seasoned just right and hitting all the savory notes. It might not look like much, but it definitely tastes like a bowl of ramen. This is one of those meals that prove raw vegan doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to hit the spot.